Hi, folks. Mez here with another episode of Diary of a Cancer Patient, Plan C. The date today is 26th of May, Thursday, and I am now 5 days into cycle 5 of my chemotherapy. This is cycle 5 of 6. So, if all goes well, we're near the end of this whole cycle. And usually when I make these videos, there's an underlying subject behind the videos, but I wanted this video to be just an update about what's happened since my last cycle. So cycle 4 was fantastic, the best cycle I've ever had. Nothing outrageously wrong happened on cycle 4. I was pretty much well for all of it. I was alert, active. I was happy. Cycle 4 was absolutely fine. Cycle 3 was a nightmare due to the viral infection that I contracted. Cycle 4 was an absolute breeze. I was able to do tasks around the house. I was able to meet with my friends. I was able to be myself. My personality was as people expected. Cycle 4 was great, and I when I got to the end of cycle 4, I I want I wish that the rest of the cycles go that way. You just hope and pray at the end of the cycle. You think, hope cycle 5 is fine. Up till now, cycle 5 has been okay. I've got a slight cold, uh, sniffles, a dry cough, which may be down to hay fever because the weather here in the UK is getting a little bit better. Sun's coming out, the pollen rate increases, so maybe that's the reason why I've got this kind of sniffles. But we're kind of monitoring it for the next couple of days. My clinical team are saying, see how it is in the next few days. If it's still lingering around, then maybe they'll take some blood tests and see what we need to do from there. But cycle 5 so far has not been bad. I'm 5 days into cycle 5. Last week, I had a CT scan to check the progress of the chemotherapy so far. And this is not this scan gives us a good indication of the progress. It's not as powerful as something that's named up a PET scan. A PET scan shows active cancerous cells and whether they're still active or not. But a CT scan, which is less detrimental, and I say detrimental because a PET scan requires you to be injected with a radioactive substance, whereas a CT scan doesn't. They may inject a dye, but it's less detrimental to me. So yeah, I had a CT scan. It takes a couple of days for those results to come through, but they came through, and they showed a significant reduction in the size of the cancerous cells. Now, that's great news, right? That's great news. A significant reduction in the size of the cancerous cells. Some cancerous cells have been eliminated. Some are still lingering around. But the overall news that you have to take away from this is that the treatment is working. The chemotherapy plan that they put me on, RCHOP, RCHOP, has worked, or it is working. Now, there's still cancerous masses that this treatment is fighting, and we're nowhere by any means free from this cancer or over the hill. But I would say throughout this darkness, this is a beam of light. This is a massive bit of positivity that has given me a cause of excitement, really, and also relief to some extent. There's happiness, but there's not overwhelming joy, and I don't think that will happen, not to the extent that you think. The reason being is, as I've got this news and as I'm reaching towards the end of my cycles, there's an underlying fear that's creeping in, and I spoke about this in some of my earlier videos. And that underlying fear is that this disease, this thing that has grown and consumed me from the inside, has a possibility to return. And I've had to put my life on hold for near on 5-6 months while we fight this. But I fear that it's going to return. You've got to remember that this is not a cancer that you can just operate, cut off, and then live your life. You know, this is a cell that decided that it was not going to listen to me or my body, and that it was going to do its own thing, live its own way, go against my body, and multiply multiple times in multiple places. And the fear of that happening again is always going to be there. So that's I have to learn to live with that. I know that this is a thing. I have to learn to live with it. I have to figure out a way that this is not going to affect my life moving forward. But I can't just dwell on that, right? I can't dwell on that. I won't dwell on that. We're coming to the point whereby I am beating this thing. And let me tell you, it's taken its toll on me and my body. It's battered me beyond belief. Mentally, I remain strong, but physically, I still feel weak. And as we come to the 6th cycle and come to the end of the 6th cycle, it doesn't mean that it's over for me. I'm still going to have to take medication after that. What medication and how long for, I'm not sure. I guess my clinical team will let me know once the results of the 6th cycle scan comes in. But life for me won't return back to normal for quite some time. I think my brother said that realistically, you got to think that the rest of the year is written off in recovery, and I think he's right. I think I may not have the chemotherapy after the 6 cycles, but that doesn't mean the next day my body kind of gets back to normal, and I live my life the way I've been living before I had cancer. There's a lot of recovery for me to do, and that's another part of my journey. But there has been a reduction in the number of cancerous cells in my body. The size of these cancerous cells have reduced. Some of them have gone. Some of them will still need the 6th cycle. But the consultants, the clinical team that I'm with, is very happy with the progress. Very happy with the progress. And I put my trust in them, you know. They've fixed me when I was broken multiple times. You know, they know what they're doing. And, you know, they've been right all along this way. So I've got no reason why I wouldn't trust them now. So, you know, it's coming to the end of this period, this dark time. I just need to stick with it a little bit more, have that faith a little bit more, and slowly start to recover. And it's been tough on everybody, you know, not just me, the people around me, my wife especially. You know, she's been phenomenal on this. I can't say enough about how much she has supported me through this and kept me going. You know, she has a lot of insight from a carer's perspective, and she has cared for me, you know, throughout this period. And she's thinking about doing a video from a carer's perspective. And I think that it's hyper important that she does, because if you know anybody that's going through cancer or become a carer for anybody that has cancer, it's important to hear the insight from a carer's perspective, because it's totally different from mine. So I look forward to her video. She's going to do one, hopefully. She's just thinking about what she wants to say, which is fine. I've said, you know, do it in your own time. But she has a lot of insight that I think will help a lot of people. And there you have it. It's just a quick update about, you know, going on from cycle 4 to cycle 5. Thank you for watching these videos. I'm going to keep doing these videos until I get the all clear. And even when I get the all clear, I will keep these videos up, because they have proved to be valuable for a lot of people. They are reaching out. There's people reaching out to me, telling me how helpful these videos have been. And that just makes me so happy. Maybe these videos are not for everybody. Maybe these videos don't depict exactly how every single cancer patient feels, but people have been reaching out to me and saying how helpful some of these videos have been. And if anybody who knows me or comes across any of my videos, if they ever get cancer, I hope some of the information that these videos have helps them get through this progress, and let them know that, you know, there is light at the end of the tunnel for some people. It all depends on your situation. But I just want people to talk about this more. For those people that don't or shy away from this kind of topic, it's okay. These videos will be there for whenever you need them to be. But thank you for everybody who's reached out in support, who's reached out to tell me their story. Some of the stories I hear, you know, it really got to break my heart. I feel that my cancer journey has really really been not as bad as some. There are some people that really suffer hard. My heart goes out to them. You know, as hard as my journey has been for me, there are others out there that suffer way much more. You know, and I wish those people the best. You know, I hope you recover. I hope you go on to lead your life in the way that you need or want it to be. But we're living in a time whereby we can fight this now. It's easier to fight this. The medication, the research, the treatment is getting better and better all the time. So never ever give up on this. Never give up. You will have your dark days. I still have my dark days. But through the darkness, there is some light. Have a good day. Thank you.